Can we cuss now?
On the topic of that, everybody go watch a Poopsie Surprise unboxing.
Shut up, Seki.
Do they spit or poo?
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Anime Club. I'm Nick Knack. With me is the great Lord Vorn.
Yahoo! Millfinger!
Realm Shifter.
19 episodes of fucking filler.
Wait, was it 19?
Yes, it was No, it's not because
It was not 19.
No, okay,
episodes.
not for this one, but in total between what we had to watch to get to this point.
That's
not
entirely
wrong.
possible.
Ah, yeah.
Yes.
It is 19 episodes of filler. I've seen full anime series shorter than this filler block.
Yes.
Well, suck it up, Buttercup. It's shonen.
And shonen that does that is shit.
Yes.
Yeah, reason
Y'all
why
about
we
to have
don't.
some Dragon Ball Z and Bleach fans coming after you.
I think the shows are
You
shit.
know,
Nothing
and
is
there's,
source material.
I know plenty of Dragon Ball
Structural
fans that
problem
think
with
that the show gets pretty repetitive and boring after a while.
That's true. I have a fight skip rule for Dragon Ball Z. Once the fight starts, skip 10 episodes until the fight's over.
You're not doing that for the Anime Club, by the way. You've got to do it and suffer like we have to suffer this filler.
Oh yeah, no, I'm fine with that. When I watch it for pleasure.
Ugh.
There's other things I watch for pleasure.
Shut up, Ralph.
Wars.
Waifu Wars.
Waifu Wars.
Waifu.
All right, everyone. Did you have any change in waifus?
Not me.
Zanzi's Vongola,
I hate all of them!
which you all still have not met.
Who was your waifu again, Ralph?
Haru.
Oh.
It's still Haru currently.
Well,
We'll see if that changes later the more we watch this series, but for now it's still Haru.
I, for one, have a new waifu.
All right.
Lambo?
No. Close, though. It's the raccoon that was drowning Lambo in the zoo episode.
Don't you mean the otters as well?
Oh, and the otters that were beating him in the head. Yes, that entire zoo is my waifu.
Anything that crushes Lambo in a way that Nick Knack enjoys is waifu material in his book.
By the way, spoilers alert for what it's worth for episodes, what was it, 13 through
26?
Yeah.
Of Katekyo.
Do you have a waifu, Vorn?
I said none. I hate them all.
I feel
You don't even like Poison Cooking Bianca?
No.
No,
She's like one of the, it's not Lambo bad, but she's like one of the most repetitive running gags, in my opinion.
I liked her during the start, but after this, just
They
no,
overuse
it's
her.
too
They overuse
much.
everyone.
I'm gonna preface this episode with a disclaimer, everybody. I read the Reborn manga right before I watched the anime. The manga's great. The manga doesn't have this much filler, right? The anime, on the other hand, has a lot of filler in the first arc. The entire first 36 episodes is basically all filler with 6 episodes of actual content. So it gets really good after that, and I am going to force these guys to watch more of it.
A good manga doesn't excuse a bad anime.
No, it doesn't.
Absolutely not.
But I am going to force them to watch more until they meet Zanzis and get into the proper arcs.
I just hope we don't have to go through this with Bleach.
We will.
I ain't
Excuse
throwing
you.
that in.
Oh, I am. But
God damn you.
okay, but Bleach filler is easily skippable because they don't start the main bulk of filler until after our 50 episode cap, and then I can just skip it.
Fine.
With that being said, I think we should get into episode 13.
Yeah,
New
because that
Year.
was our general thoughts.
Yeah, New Year, the game of 100 million yen.
Okay, so one of my first thoughts when watching this episode was, I'm kind of glad they're reintroducing all the characters like this. I didn't realize that they reintroduced all the characters like this every episode after this point.
Oh my god.
I'm good.
Realm, are you okay?
I'm good.
Did you burn yourself on tea?
I took a bigger sip than I tried to.
He's got a giant mug of tea in front of him right now. By the way,
Slurp,
everyone.
not sip.
And also, the handle is a little slippery.
It's actually comical. The tea mug is the size of his foot.
Yes.
Yeah, you could wear that as a boot.
You could.
Give it a second to cool down.
Yeah, I'll
It's
give it a
such a
second.
big cup, it's gonna stay hot for a while.
Let's get back to the episode, though.
Alright, so, in this episode, obviously it's a New Year's filler episode.
Yeah.
So, we get to see Poison cooking. We get to see Reborn and Bianchi and Ipin.
But at the end of the Poison cooking, Reborn was just like, you tie, I don't have to eat it.
Pretty much.
That's every single one.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't terrible. It was a pretty good episode. It was a standard Shonen New Year's episode. Fillery.
I dreaded wanting to watch this. Here's the thing. We actually skipped a week of, like, recording just because, like, we had other stuff to do, and I still didn't want to watch it until yesterday. God dang it. This thing really made me dread watching it, and I was right.
The procrastination sensation that's gripping the nation is watching Katekyo Hitman Reborn.
I was about the same as well. I thought, because I forgot that we were holding this off for another week, so I procrastinated literally until the last day to watch this, that I thought it was the last day, and it ended up being a week before.
See, I've been very comfortably watching the next anime, which is already decided. We will be announcing that at the end, so stay tuned.
Which I have also started on, because I didn't procrastinate for once.
You started on it because we forgot that it was in the hat and watched the first episode.
we made a boo-boo.
This will be my third watch through of it, and I will be watching the German dub of it.
That's a hint. Let's get back to on topic here.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a New Year's episode. Lambo's annoying. Kyoko's ridiculous.
And so is Haru.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's not a whole lot of good things I can say about the filler, because it's not great filler. It's really not. I love the show. I love the characters. But this first arc is like pulling teeth.
The filler is just repetitive.
Yeah. There's a grand total of one filler episode I actually liked in this entire set of episodes.
And I think it would happen to be episode 14. First date, Hell's Zoo.
No, actually, I didn't like that episode
really?
much. Even though it's my wife, the zoo is my waifu, I hated it. It was filler at its worst.
Okay, here's the basic thing about the filler. It was, he does something bad happens, usually involving with the other parts of the gang. Reborn is asleep, and then he wakes up, shoots him, and then he just solves the problem. There.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's it.
That's the whole.
It's so repetitive.
That's the whole cycle for these filler episodes up until about 19,
which is the start of the
which
arc.
is the start of the arc, and it actually gets good there. But we still got more filler to talk about, so let's continue on, and I think we can get through this pretty quickly.
Do we just want to skip all the filler?
No. Okay.
No.
So, hold on. Brief synopsis. First date, Hell's Zoo. Tsuna goes to the zoo with Kyoko. But his ideal date doesn't go as planned.
It was never a date to begin with.
Yeah, exactly. The others are like running around causing trouble, and he's like, "Oh, I have to avoid them all." And then, there's the befriended hippo, the rhinoceros elephant with Reborn in his pow pow outfit.
Yeah.
I actually like that.
Okay, one thing I did enjoy about these block of filler more so than the previous filler that we had in the last season is that Reborn often had amusing outfits to look at.
Yeah, I love Reborn's like outfit changes. Like he has like mallet space. It's great.
I still have even with that, I still have no sympathy for this filler.
No,
absolutely
no,
none.
It's still terrible.
Absolutely none.
So that was a zoo episode. The next episode was 15. It was Clash Survival Snow Battle.
I at least want to say this: the last filler that we watched, not for this episode list, but last one. At least we got a development. This one, we got no development at all.
I actually kind of like this episode because they're like, let's have a snowball fight. Reborn's like, extreme.
I've seen this before in a lot of American cartoons.
Exactly.
This was American cartoon.
Basically.
Yeah, quite literally.
It's literally, but it's still kind of amusing.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of
hated it. I hated every minute of it.
At least
from a storytelling, the filler and the storytelling perspective.
At least American cartoons actually have a pretty good story, even though it's episodic. But this is just episodic.
There are some American cartoons that have zero story.
Well, I'm talking about some of them,
like SpongeBob.
Johnny Test.
Well, I was thinking more of...
And both of those have
Yeah.
By the way, I still prefer Spongebob to this because SpongeBob doesn't trot out every character every episode
Ugh.
to try create with a main cast. Like the only character you're guaranteed to see in any episode is SpongeBob, and even then, only mostly. But they don't trot out like Mr. Krabs and Plankton are largely exclusive to episodes about Mr. Krabs and Plankton. You're not getting like a reintroduction to the characters and their gimmicks every single episode that you watch.
You know, I was talking about like old Teen Titans and like the Batmans and like that stuff.
No, we do not include Teen Titans in American cartoon.
Yeah, it is.
That is
Old.
American classic.
Old.
It's good. That is not on the same level as SpongeBob.
There's no such thing as an American classic cartoon.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, there is. That's not Teen Titans. That's
not
going into like...
I
That's
know.
like going into
But
like
I
the
mean, like-
Flintstones
I mean,
and
like-
stuff like that.
Teen Titans is more along the lines of Avatar when compared to like SpongeBob or something. Like I would
That's
lump
still
Teen
American
Titans with...
cartoon.
Yes, but I
Yeah.
don't lump the two of them together like...
Then that's your own personal like opinion.
But we lump so
Yeah.
many different types of anime together, Japanese anime together, and they're still Japanese anime. This is still American cartoons.
yeah,
They're
but-
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting
By genre.
way off topic here. Let's get back to the
Yeah.
rest of the
We're
filler.
getting way off topic because all you guys are doing is complaining.
Because that's
You
all there is
literally
to
said
do about
nothing
this
nice.
filler.
That's because there's nothing nice to say.
There's nothing nice to
Yeah.
say, so let's go along. Let's get it out of the way so that way I can actually talk about something nice for the episode.
This is coming from somebody who watched Data Live.
Yes, and
and-
I didn't like it myself either that much. I didn't think it was the
It was
worst,
just
but I
easier to meme on.
yes.
Yeah.
This doesn't even have meme redeeming qualities.
Whatever. The next episode is
Yeah.
16. It's Escape from the Mountain of Death.
What
Uh,
happened? Wasn't there?
This one
this
was
is the one where he gets run
Wait, where was the Valentine's Day episode?
That was
after
like eight-
this
that was like-
and
oh, okay.
the continuing.
Okay.
So,
I mean, this one.
It's a mountain survival. That's it.
mountain
Yeah.
survival episode.
This one
just
was
like
weird in that it was kind of filler, but kind of not. I think.
this one. Okay, just towards the end, I really hated this one because what was it? Freaking just they had to also throw in Kyoko and Haru into the mix in the most contrived way possible.
I had that same thing. I was watching. I was like, "Oh, this isn't that bad. It's only a few characters. It's a pretty fun episode." And then all the characters march out of
a literal.
The fucking situations
Why?
that like how they got there.
It
Ugh.
didn't happen in the manga. They don't include any of those characters that are lost or whatever.
Yeah, thank gosh. But at that point, you just recommend the manga, not the
Yeah.
anime.
Yes.
This is not a manga reading podcast, or I would have. Do you know how many times I've recommended this manga to the three of you? And every time you said, nah.
I just don't read manga,
Exactly.
Where
So
do
then you
even
have to
get
deal
this?
with filler.
or I don't have to do. If I were like I'm doing this on the podcast because we
Whatever,
see
the
it,
next
but-
episode is episode 17. It's Hush Before Entering the Hospital.
Oh
Yeah,
that's
it's
okay.
a continuation.
Yeah, it's a continuation. So now he gets put in a hospital because he was crushed by Big Enzio. And yeah, this episode is just this one's kind of weird for me. This one is probably the most bearable of the filler episodes, but like the nurse is a bitch.
You
Fuck,
think?
fuck that nurse, and not in the dirty way.
I like the end where Sunna gets
Ugh.
his ass beat by what's his face,
The council president, whoever that is.
the disciplinary.
Oh,
Hibari Kyoya.
yeah.
Yeah, I like Sunna getting his ass beat by him at the end. That was amusing.
That was just stupid. You don't hear a freaking bomb go outside your window, but you hear a freaking a petal fall on like your freaking table. Really?
Priorities.
Then 18. This is the Valentine's Day episode.
Yeah, it's called Poisoned Love Chocolates.
This is the episode I kind of like because it had the most relatable line in all of Katekyo. Let's see if I could pull it up real quickly.
It's Mission Impossible, but in Katekyo form. And it still ain't good.
I think that's a Valentine's Day episode.
Valentine's Day is the most depressing day of the year.
Yes, there you go.
Yay! We're all loners.
But hey, I mean, it got great after Valentine's Day, Chocolate Day, Giles. All the you can buy all the lonesome chocolate you want and cry yourself in your bed if you like.
That's the reason why we celebrate Singles Day.
Singles
Yes.
Appreciation Day.
Singles Appreciation
And it's
Day.
just called Singles Day. We buy as much shit as we want to drown ourselves.
That's the day, but mind you, it's the day after Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on from our crippling depression.
So the next episode is 19. It's 100% accuracy, ranking everything. And it's about
This
the
is-
ranking Prince Fuda.
Yes, this is anyways, this is where it stops being filler.
It's the start of the arc.
It's finally the start of the arc, although part of this still kind of felt fillery to me, at least
But it
the
was
general
character
tone.
introduction
But it was
filler.
character introduction. We actually got to see new characters, some actual conflict between other mafia members and whatnot. So we actually got to see some development, and it was actually nice. And then, episode 20.
Ugh.
Well, I liked episode 19.
Yeah.
The character was fun enough, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Fuda the Ranking Prince is he's a recurring character in the manga. Pops up a lot. I mean, obviously, one of the big parts of his storyline is that a lot of the families try to exploit him for rankings. So, like, give us a higher ranking or something, or tell us who's more powerful than us so we can go after them.
If we ever do a tier list video, he has to be on the thumbnail.
No.
I'm fine with that. I like Fuda. So the next
I was
episode is
still
episode
hating.
20. It's called Abrupt Attack, and it's the beginning of the Kokuyo arc, which is really the main non-filler arc in the whole first season. It's only about 6 episodes long, which makes it really unbalanced as to the manga ratio of filler to arc. But so this is the first episode of it. And it's, the students at the high school are getting targeted by like a gang and they're getting beat up.
Still kind of felt fillery to me. But
I-
I'd just been like
I think you just, at this
John.
point, probably were sick of all the filler, so everything just felt like filler to you.
Yeah.
Because this was actually refreshing for me, because it actually got into some character development and interesting plot points.
I'll at least say
I'm not saying it was bad, but there was a bit of a mood whiplash where you're going from all the filler to immediately like very like you suddenly have that shonen fight scene with the dynamite guy versus what was he doing? It's been a while. Was it the
Hayate?
Yeah, like the
Hayato.
yo-yo
Hayato.
or whatever.
yeah, and
Yeah.
was it the yo-yo guy in the
Yeah. It was kind of a bit of a mood whiplash
His
for
name's
me.
Chikusa Kakimoto.
It was a bit of a mood whiplash for me because it's like it doesn't transition itself that well from like going from all this filler to now you get to like actually some good fight scenes, because like you still see like, say for example, like Sunna getting blown out of the sky, but in one scene it's like there's actual tension to this one, and then in the other episode there's like absolutely zero tension to it.
By the way, can we bring that up real quickly? That running gag that I kept doing with Seki, where like after every episode where Sunna would have an apparent death but not die, but it would have killed him based off things said in earlier episodes. He didn't die. I'm like, did he die there? Can this be the end?
No.
Exactly.
That's the reason why.
And you want to know why? Because the
next.
next episode is gonna play.
And you know what? I'm taking great joy, ladies and gentlemen, in the fact that I am going to be resubmitting this series up to episode 73. They're going to have to watch it.
I wouldn't have a problem with this series if it didn't have all this fucking filler.
This is Please tell me there's no more filler after
No,
this.
she's already expressed the rest of this season.
I've
And
literally told you like 10 times to your face.
And
And every time, do you just ignore me?
and
I
until
you just
wasn't
not
paying
listen?
attention.
there
So
you
you
go.
do
There's
just
so
ignore
much.
me.
there's your answer.
I mean, you
What's
just
the point of
ignored
me
us.
talking?
This isn't. This is not mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
I know, but I've told him so many times.
and until we get to episode 50, we cannot skip arcs.
Oh, I'm not skipping arcs after episode 50.
Oh, because there's no need to.
No. Literally, as soon as season 1's over, there's no more filler.
Wait, what is season 1 up to actually?
36.
Oh, all right then. So
And
we won't even quite get through all the filler, even if we did do the maximum limit.
Is it? Wait, no, we will get through. Yeah, no, we will get through filler because the next submission I have in goes up to 39, and it definitely has at least the first mini arc of the full arc.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
So we'll be out of filler.
It might be like
territory.
33 or 34 in the first season of episodes. I think it's 34 actually.
Good, because I will actually enjoy the series once the filler is
Yeah.
gone. Because I actually enjoyed this little arc that they had.
Yeah, and this arc is very indicative of the next one, which is my favorite arc in the whole show. Which
Does
is
it
why.
introduce your waifu?
It does. We get to meet Sansa's. We don't get
great.
to meet him now, though. Anyways, so the next episode is Injured Friends. It's episode 21.
This actually might have been the one with the fight scene, actually.
No, there was a fight scene in episode 20, but there's
Okay.
another fight scene in this one.
There's a lot of fight
Yeah.
scenes.
So this is where Gokudera defeats that guy, and then Tsuna arrives and he learns that he's the Vongola 10th. And then Yamamoto runs into and defeats one of the other gang members, Ken Jashima. So there's 2 fights in this one.
It still felt repetitive. I'm sorry, but
Okay,
yeah.
you're gonna have to deal with the fact that shonen fights are always repetitive. You're gonna hate Dragon Ball.
It still felt repetitive from the filler, is what I'm saying.
Okay.
The filler, I think the problem is the filler
Yeah.
makes you real sick of these characters real fast.
Yeah, well,
so
I
when
couldn't
you actually
skip
get to the
it.
good stuff.
I couldn't skip it.
It's probably just because I binged it.
Yeah, that probably wasn't a good
Yeah.
idea. Especially because like the
It's
first
almost like
7 episodes
I've been
are...
warning you guys for a long time to stop binging these the night before, all 3 of you.
I didn't binge it the night before.
Not this time, because you've seen it before, so you didn't have a reluctance to watch it like these 2 did. But there are anime where you have a reluctance to watch where you'll binge the night before when...
I've literally only done that on Fate. That's
This was the
only one I
I
binged.
fully binged.
Yeah.
Like, fully binged. This was the only one.
Binging just makes bad anime worse.
All right. Well, okay. Episode 22 is the unexpected demon leader, or demonic leader.
And this is where we're introduced to the leader of this other mafia gang.
Is this the boss fight start or not?
This is like the start into the
Yeah,
to get
kind
to
of.
the boss.
Yay! This is the point where I actually start to find this interesting. Yeah.
So, I'm not gonna lie, I definitely like this better than the filler, but it did not feel like, and I've seen other shonen, this isn't the only shonen I've seen. I don't feel like this shonen arc was particularly special enough for me to not be like worn down by all the filler.
Well, no, it's a character introduction arc. That's the problem. Is this is literally just one giant introduction for one specific character.
If this
that we
happened
need.
way earlier on,
Yeah.
I probably would have been so much better with
Like
it.
I said, I sat with you at the IHOP or whatever, and I looked up the thing, and it is really fucking unbalanced from what I remember from the manga. It's really
And that's fine.
unbalanced.
I'm sure the manga's much better.
Yeah.
But we're watching the anime, and you submitted the anime because
That's
you can't
true.
submit the manga.
Yeah.
Although, this episode and going into the next one, we come back to that idea. There's only so many dying will bullets you could be shot with before you actually die.
Was
yeah,
it?
and then he instantly.
Yeah, so the next episode is the last dying will bullet, because there's a limit on how many dying will bullets you can be shot with before it actually kills
I
them.
thought they were just out of dying will bullets.
No, there's actually a limit.
Yeah, that I
It's
did-
what it
I
is.
didn't
It's something
figure
like you
that
can
out.
only be shot like 10 times before you actually die.
So did they time it so that they shot him exactly 19 times?
10.
Well, no, because they shot him 10 times previously, and then they had that episode with the
Yeah.
that like the disease, and they introduced the doctor there.
No, this is just dying will bullets. This isn't anything in general, but specifically the bullets that send him into dying will mode.
Mm-hmm.
He can only be shot with them, I think it's 10 times before it actually kills him.
But they shoot him every episode in one
yeah.
episode, like 20 something.
They don't shoot him every episode.
Yeah, they do.
About every single episode.
Every single
yeah.
filler episode they shot him.
Oh. Well.
Sometimes, like I think once or twice more than once.
He should be dead.
Yeah.
And they already went over that with that disease. That was the entire
Yeah.
point of the disease doctor's
Yeah.
introduction was he
Yeah.
was dying of a disease because he was shot so many times, and it was like telling everyone his darkest secrets or whatever from the first set of episodes you watched.
Yeah. Anyway, so,
And this time it was because Leon's tail was doing funny things, so they couldn't make more dying will bullets.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Yeah.
I had completely forgotten about the plot point, actually, that he can only be shot 10 times, so I didn't even bother keeping track.
I don't even think they told us.
They did
Yeah, they
at the
did.
very
It was just
beginning.
very early on.
Yeah.
Very beginning.
I just assumed that he was immune to that.
It was that first episode when Reborn was like, "This is a dying will bullet. If I shoot you with this 10 times, you will die. So you have to learn to trigger this on your own before the 10th."
Well, no, he didn't tell that to Sunna until Sunna was already dying.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was too far ago from all this filler.
So this is where they run after the guy that's claiming to be Mukuro.
Yeah. The pretend boss.
Yeah, the pretend boss. I mean, exactly.
This is the pre-boss.
This is the guy that's like puts up the show, like he's all muscular and like got all the strength,
Yeah.
but in reality he's not the main bad.
Yeah. So that moves us on to episode 24, which is everyone's counterattack.
Is that where they start fighting him?
Yes.
Well, because like there's this entire block of episodes where they're just fighting a bunch of people. I don't remember which episode's which.
So 21,
Yeah.
the prior episode to this was the one where
No,
they
we're on 23, not 22.
Oh, we're
on 23. So
Wait, is this true boss or
I
fake
feel like we've
boss?
skipped so many characters and so many fights.
because like because the one we skipped that we didn't even mention, now that I think about it, was the guy who was controlling the two like zombie puppets or whatever.
Yeah, we talked about him.
I didn't hear
No,
I
we
didn't
didn't.
hear anyone
No,
talk
we
about him.
didn't.
I mentioned him.
You might have like said his name.
You might have said his
but that
name,
doesn't-
but you didn't say
That's
specifically
fine.
what he did.
Like, names don't click to us right now.
Or there was that
We
guy
are,
with the teeth and that fought that guy with the baseball bat katana.
Yeah, I definitely mentioned him.
I don't remember
I
that.
said that Ryohei fought.
Yeah, here's the
But we're like
thing.
skimming
No
over these
names.
so quickly.
Well, what do you want me to do? You're not actually provoking conversation about any of it other than how much you hated it. I say the episode name and you're like, yeah, I didn't like it. There's too many fights.
I never said.
We're not actually discussing what's in the episode, so
Okay,
I'm just moving
separate.
on.
I'm sorry, but can you just not say the names? Because, like, I'm pretty sure none of
None
us
of us
had the
remember the
name.
name.
None of us
numbers,
remember
so-
the names. We only
So-
remember what the characters did in the fight.
So if you talk about it and you say
So-
the name,
So if you only
we're
say the
just-
name,
no.
we're not. It's not really going to click with either of us.
Okay.
like, give us at least a description.
I feel like you're getting very defensive over this show, and
No, I'm not. I'm just. Oh, so this is the one where the dynamite guy runs into the other two guys with the yo-yo and the teeth.
Ah, yes.
Yay.
Oh, yes. Now. I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah, that gets it.
I'm sorry, just
I'm sorry
no
we've seen the
names.
series once and hated most of it.
Yeah, and they're going after the discipline committee guy
Yes.
Yeah.
to snap him out behind the wall.
Boom.
Yeah.
And then Sunna's trying to get the ranking prince out of
Out of.
Mukuro's control.
Yep.
Yeah, mind control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the spear. The
I
trident.
remember when they like got themselves like there was like that pit room that they fell into and they fought. It was Sunna jumped down there but didn't actually fight, and the only point of Reborn kicking him down there, I think it was so that he was to get.
He was bait.
Basically he was bait to try getting that one guy to be like, yeah, I'm gonna actually fight
Animal
seriously
guy.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was Ken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, teeth guy.
Yeah, no, animal guy's the best I got.
And then at the end of this episode, Mukuro appears to have possessed Bianchi with her poison cooking.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually see development in Tuna. Or Tsuna. Or...
By the way, we're
Today-
skipping over like that
Tuna.
one
Tuna is
guy
an
who,
accurate depiction of him,
with
though.
where he doesn't actually do any fighting. He just pulls up TVs, and there was the Kyoko and Haru.
Didi and Jojo.
Yeah.
That was their names.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
The little zombie skeleton
Yeah.
things
Yeah.
with the long, creepy fingers that somehow no one has the spatial awareness to like feel them behind them.
Yeah, it's like...
I found that amusing actually.
Yeah.
And then like Lambo and Epine show, I loved that because Lambo does like absolutely nothing, and Epine's sitting there
Yeah.
like kicking that one guy's ass.
Yes.
He's
Yep.
gonna love the next arc.
I actually like adult Epine as a character. But
Oh
that's
no,
just-
you're gonna like the next arc because of what happens to Lambo.
Oh, yay.
There's like an entire fight scene that's just Lambo getting the beaten out of him
You can say that.
by
We
someone
can cuss
way
now.
stronger.
Is it adult Lambo or kid Lambo?
Kid
So I think-
Lambo. It's
Thank
Kid
God. I'm gonna
Oh,
love that
yes.
fight scene.
It's actually really upsetting
Mm.
and sad.
I don't think it will be
Who
after
cares?
all the.
No, it kind of is just because of the context behind it.
We'll see how I
Okay.
feel when we get there.
Yeah, I know he's gonna love it, but I actually hate
Who
it
knows?
because it's really terrible.
It's going to depend on whether or not the story arc leading up to it is pulls me out of that ironic love of seeing Lambo killed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
And then I do hope we get to see more of adult Epeen because I do actually enjoy adult Epeen.
Yeah.
Adult
We-
Epeen's
We
fun.
won't get to see a ton more of adult EP. The
And
next
in
the
the
next
next-
arc is going to be really focused on Sunna and his guardians.
Yeah.
Right.
Like period. It's going to be really focused there. We don't actually get back into like the larger cast of characters until the future arc, which is a couple arcs later.
Mm-hmm.
What episodes are those?
It's a while.
Oh
It's a
my.
ways.
It's not going to be anything we're going to get to anytime
Yeah,
soon.
it'll be something we get to near the end of my submissions for this. And I still have to resubmit this like 3 more times, I think.
God damn.
And I am fully abusing our 12 plus 5 rule for all 3 of those submissions.
Remember, we can also like, if it's like to a point where it's like, yeah, we're like in finals week and we want
Yeah.
some at 17, we can veto that. So
Yeah. Well, it's not going to be in finals week again, I'm sure.
Well,
Well, I don't know about you. I know, and like Realm doesn't have finals,
No.
but me and like Knick-Knack have finals. We got to actually study and do stuff here.
You say that like I don't study for my classes. I do.
Well, you actually took.
but 17 episodes
yeah.
of Katekyo is far easier for you than it is for us.
That's
Yeah.
true. Anyway, so the next episode is 24. It's I Want to Win Instant Awakening.
This is just that long, like 3 or 4 episode Mukuro fight, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
But the Mukuro fight was some nice stuff, though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually like the fight with Mukuro and Sunna.
Yeah, it's where we see the rebuke bullet, the new one that
Mhm.
allows him to hear others' thoughts and awaken, and he gets the hyper dying will mode.
And he doesn't actually go into his underwear finally.
Yeah.
God, I can finally stop feeling like. I feel like it was such a weird decision to put him in his underwear. I hated it.
It kind of felt like it was etchy, but
Well, no, it was
wasn't.
not etchy.
It was not at all.
No,
that's
there
not
was
what
nothing
it felt
sexy
like.
about that at all.
You were definitely watching this with a very different vision in mind.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. Here's the thing. Because, like, in etchy, usually, like, the guy is in only his underwear, and, like, then he does his thing.
Yeah, but this
like,
is
this
very
time it's like
different.
that. It's like, wait,
If I had
why
to
is
say
it...
the problem with
This
it
is
is
not meant to be sexual.
we're
Yeah, I
keeping
know.
in mind that he's in middle school and running around in his underwear only, and people aren't batting an eye. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
kind of weird.
Yeah.
It's not like, okay, I've seen weirder. I've watched actually like degenerate stuff, and I hate it. But this is just kind of weird. Like, I didn't like. We're gonna start.
It's supposed to be a shonen style kind of like joke, like one of
Yeah.
those recurring jokes that happens, but it doesn't, because it doesn't go continue through the whole series, and it's not used sparingly. It's just those first set of episodes.
Yeah, I'm just kind of glad to see it go. I might actually be able to enjoy Tsuna like actually punching people a little bit more now.
Cat,
Out
go.
of curiosity, does Sunna actually transition to high school, or does he stay through in middle school throughout it?
Does Tsuna have the Bart Simpson and the Ash Ketchum problem?
Yeah.
Well, no,
Does
the
he?
problem is the whole series doesn't take that long. I know he's definitely still in high school for like the. Okay, so he does get older at the end, nearer to the ends of the anime, but he does stay in middle school for a lot of it because a lot of this happens in a very short term. Outside of that beginning filler where you see a bunch of different holidays, this actually happens in a pretty short term time span. You know, it's moving
Right.
pretty fast. So you know, Sunna's hyper dying will in this episode allows him to like paralyze his friends instead of killing them, so that Mukuro doesn't have anyone else to possess.
So that way he has to go back to his own body.
Yes, now he
Yeah.
must fight as himself. How shocking.
Yay.
Which takes us to the last episode we watched, 26,
Where he
which was
showed-
the end and from then on.
This was the episode, also the episode where he showed off his most vile form, the human realm.
Yeah.
We saw plot and we were able to actually ask questions now about the plot. Yeah.
I was actually intrigued during the last episode.
Well,
the
and
very
Sunna-
last few moments.
Sunna gets, has his X gloves finally.
Yeah.
His 10th gloves, which is good
Yeah,
because he needs those.
Without the bullet, doesn't he don't those things look like oven mitts?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Until he goes into hyper dying will mode, they look like oven mitts.
Why are you putting on your oven mitts?
I'm getting ready to beat you to a pulp. Literally that mood. They explain about the new rebuke bullet in
Skulitis.
Skulitis.
That was the disease that he gets after being shot with 10 bullets.
which is actually a joke to a character that appears later in the series in an arc that I'm going to show you.
Oh, great.
Is it like a character that perpetually has skulitis but can't die from it?
No, it's a character named Skull.
Oh.
It's really funny, but it's a later character. We don't meet him anytime soon.
Sorry, I just had that
Yeah.
revelation.
So basically the reason why he doesn't burst out of his underwear anymore is because the hyper dying will makes him more mentally aware than the original dying will did.
And it's because he's supposed to absorb the criticism of the people of
well, and he gets the Vongola hyper intuition.
Mm-hmm.
That kicks in in a big way, which is a big thing because if you don't have the Vongola hyper intuition, you're not really cut out to be a Vongola boss.
It's what if Leon, in spitting out his things, actually just spit out oven gloves and a bullet, and Reborn just shot Sunna? I'm sorry.
It could have ended all right there. It would be all over.
Is Sunna dead? Can we stop now?
No, no, it's not. Okay, I like this episode because I like Mukuro's backstory. Mukuro and Ken and everybody.
Yes.
I like their backstory
nice.
with the Estraneo Famiglia and the human experimentation on their own children.
Mm-hmm. It was a great episode.
Yeah.
World building.
Shocking.
Not all the characters were in this episode. Some of them sat out injured.
Well, and you see the Vindici. Vindici?
Is that the menacing group of people who Reborn Reborn is like, Sunna, we don't fuck with them.
Yeah. Those are literally the law keepers of the Mafia world, right? They're there when you do something really bad, right?
Am I sensing an arc where they actually have to do something with them later?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, they're important characters no matter what, because once you get into the actual, Mafia, more into the Mafia politics. Because that's what this episode is, the backstory of Mukuro, that's about Mafia politics, is this family that, made the possession bullet, right? And then they were like, oh, you're experimenting on your own children unethically, so we're gonna wipe you from the face of the earth.
I thought that was Mukuro controlling fake Mukuro that killed them all. Wasn't it?
No.
Well, I mean, Mukuro killed the whole family because he was being experimented on. But then, basically what happened with the Vindice was, supposed to be, all mentioning and knowledge of the family and what they did was, wiped from the record as, a warning to other families. Don't do this because it's a really bad thing.
You wiped it out, then what's the warning then?
That you will be wiped from existence.
I don't know. Being very public about what you did to them could have been a very good deterrent.
Yeah.
Probably, but they didn't want to admit that. I mean, they don't want to admit that this 5-year-old kid did their job for them. That's not something you want to fucking admit.
But that's the.
But I like
This is the
Mukuro.
4th time
Yes.
that's happened. I'm gonna go ahead and put my phone on silent.
Yeah, I did that already when mine jingled.
Yeah, but I didn't expect that to jingle 4 times. That typically happens when people leave the house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
I mean, I'm not happy that we don't get. I mean, we don't really get to meet Chrome yet, right?
no.
We don't
No.
meet.
Use
Okay.
Chrome.
Okay. That's
Google.
no. Chrome is the last main character we need in terms of the group.
Oh, god damn it.
But we don't get to. No, you'd actually like her. I like Chrome a lot. She's adorable, but also really sad. She has to do with Mukuro, though.
Okay.
We'll see when we get there.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Let's see how I rate her.
Vincent, don't go rating waifus on the podcast.
You said my name.
Well, there was a pregnant pause there. I think we're good enough there.
Yeah.
If you want to pause that, we can pick back up again.
Yeah.
Okay. Vorn, don't go rating waifus on the podcast.
That's what waifu wars are for!
Yes, this isn't part of waifu wars, though.
Yeah.
We had
Yeah.
that. We had waifu
Cares.
wars last time.
Yep.
All right, guys. That was it, right? Do we want to move on to the final thoughts?
Yeah.
Who's going?
Seki, I'll let you start things off since.
Okay,
Go ahead and. Will the defense please give their opening or their closing statement?
admittedly, the filler's terrible. The filler's not great. You get an overload of all of the characters, and if you don't really like them, you get more than you really need to see of them, right? But the Kokyu arc is really good. You get a lot of Mafia lore, right? You hear about Mukuro. You hear about how the Mafia world deals with people who are unethical, which is kind of at a juxtaposition because normally when you think of Mafia, you think of people who are like bad, like they're the criminals, right? Which is actually a point that will come up later that has to do with like Vongola, like actual morals, right? Because they're like the Vongola family was originally created as like a rebellion against a corrupt government to provide a less corrupt way of living.
Well, that gets a little bit later in. Let's save that for when you do your episode
Yeah.
of the little series, which is
Exactly. So, there's that. I like the Mukuro arc, and I actually really like the characters, so I don't mind seeing them in filler. Like, I like Hibari, especially. Like, I like Gokudera. I like Ryohei. I like Ryohei because he's just, like, extreme!
They're probably the least grading characters in my opinion.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, Sunna annoys me, but Sunna always annoys me, and he's supposed to annoy me because he's annoying. I like Dino. I wish we saw more of Dino. Fucking Horse Dino. I want a whole anime series just about him.
I don't know. That would be a lot more interesting than based on what the little flashbacks we saw in it.
I know Dino's great. Anyways, I mean, I like it, but that's because I know what's coming, and I know that all my favorite stuff happens in the next arc. So, I mean, for this particular episode set, I'd maybe give it 7 explosions out of 10. But I actually like all the characters because I've seen more of them. So that's just me.
All right, let's go clockwise here. Realm, how about you? What are your closing thoughts?
I'm gonna just give my rating on it right now because I've already explained my feelings for this show. I'm gonna give it a jelly donut out of extra jelly.
All right.
Like I said, this really sucked. These set of episodes, that amount of filler, and only until the boss fight I really enjoyed it, and we saw plot and development. If this was by itself, I would call this the most crappiest anime of all time that I've seen currently. Okay, not in the world. Not this is currently that I've seen. Okay,
We have a lot more dirt to drag you through.
So I give this a 3 out of 10. Almost maybe a 4, but it's definitely on the low end. So yeah.
I can't wait till I show us Bleach and get us to 50 episodes so I can skip all the actual canon only to show you an entire filler arc.
I'm skipping that filler.
No, it's the Zanpakuto
Ugh.
Rebellion arc. It's technically filler, but it's literally the best arc in the whole anime.
No, I'm skipping filler. I don't want to watch filler.
No,
We'll
We're
make
too
that case
sick of
later.
filler.
no, it's
filler right
filler
now.
because it's
Make
not.
the case.
Hang on, it's filler because it's non-canon. It's not disassociated episodes. It's an actual arc, but because it never happened in the manga.
This is like
Save
the
it
Star.
for later,
See,
please.
This is like the Star Wars Legends versus canon. I don't
Yeah,
care.
except this is actually
If
good.
I can't have my screaming
Ugh.
at Seki about Star Wars on the Fate episode, we can't have this on the Reborn episode. Got it? Okay.
Just go, Nick. Let's end this already.
Okay.
Suffering's too much.
The filler as expressed multiple times today, is god awful. But when we move into the actual arc, it's okay. I don't like the actual arc is perfectly serviceable. It wasn't pissing me off like the filler was. But I also by the time we reached that arc, I was already it took a lot longer to get invested than say other because it's not any worse than any other shonen I've seen in that arc. But the filler makes that arc a lot actively makes the arc harder to sit through because I just don't care about the characters. All right. So now that that's done, do we want to announce what was picked over the invisible break to for the next anime?
Yeah, what was
Yeah.
the Wield's choice?
Yojo Senki came
Or-
out. It's
or-
Tales of Tanya the Evil.
Saga of Tanya the Evil. What's known as in English. But so that's what will be next. We will be reviewing that within the next 2 weeks.
You can find on Crunchyroll, can't you?
Yeah, you can find it on Crunchyroll.
Crunchyroll, Hulu, everywhere.
In fact, there's multiple variants of the dub, or multiple dub variants on Crunchyroll, and I will be watching the German dub, as I mentioned at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah.
All right. Well then, guys, if we've got nothing else to say, then I think that should be it. Remember, everyone, try harder, everyone. I really messed that up.